Hey there everyone, it's Matt, and today we're starting a new series. Finally got the new bike. Here we have it. This is a Nishiki Maricopa, and this is literally one of the cheapest road bikes that I could find. And I live in Northern Virginia, close around Washington, D.C., and I was looking for a bike under $500, which, plus tax would bring it up to $500. And I called multiple bike places, and they basically laughed at me and said, you're never going to find a decent road bike for under $700 or $600. And they said, why don't you just try Walmart? All in all, they're a little bit bike snobby about what I could actually get. And actually, you know what, I hold not that much against them, because I know that if they were to carry a bike that's under their standard, it wouldn't look good for them, and they're specifically bike shops. But unfortunately, I couldn't go to a bike shop and get it outside of a used one, which I would never want to get for myself. But thankfully, Dick's Sporting Goods had the Nishiki Maricopa, and they had another one, starts with the P, that was $50 more. This was $450. So what this is, it's a road bike with very skinny tires, nice aluminum frame. It has all the, alright, before we go on, I know very little about bicycles. I just ride bikes. I never really took the time to get into knowing how to change anything on a bike, or knowing what the piece is called, other than I know there's a tire, there's a wheel, there's a spoke, there's a seat, and a frame, and a fork. I don't know much about bikes. So what I'm going to do here is, I'm going to begin a series where I'm going to learn about bikes along with everyone else. So I'm very curious to figure out how this will go, because, I'll be learning here with you. So yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. We're going to be talking about road bikes, and specifically bikes like this, and along the way we will meet people who will be able to enhance our knowledge and in turn enhance your knowledge. So I'm very curious to see how this goes, because again, this is one of the cheapest road bikes that you can find, that again is not at Walmart. And those Walmart ones, not to say anything really bad against it, but they are not the bike that I would use, because I use this all the time. This is my transportation, and this is what I rely on for everything. Alright, so I think the first thing that we should do is look into the seat, which I just saw there is something coming apart in the seat. So why don't we cover something that's going wrong with this bike first. Alright, now mind you, this bike has not been on its side. It has not scraped anything at all. And this here is looking like it is not tearing, but becoming unglued. So this bottom part is falling off, and this has this kind of like rough part here, but it doesn't look like it tore. It just looks like the glue kind of came apart, and thankfully that doesn't mean the top seat is coming apart. But let's take a look at the other side. Is the same thing happening on here? No. And mind you, I have been extremely careful with this bike from the time I got it yesterday. And there's no reason at all why this bike should have any kind of splitting on it. I mean, I've just sat on it. I'm not a heavy guy. I'm 5'9", 150 or 160, I'm not sure. I haven't weighed myself in a while. But it shouldn't be tearing like this. Maybe this is why they recommended me against getting something in this price range. But let's move on to things that actually work on the bike. First, it's light. It's nice and light. Second, I've been riding around in my community just to make sure everything is fine. It rained earlier today, so I wanted to see how it would do on a wetter road, and it did fine. I didn't slide. Of course, I didn't make any really big evasive maneuvers, but I did fine. And let's take a look at the tires. these are very thin road bike tires. This is not something that I'm used to. Let me try to balance this here so you can see. On the top, or on the base of the wheel here, it's pretty slick. But as we come around the sides, when you make a turn, it has somewhat of a tread on here. So, of course, I've heard many stories where you go around a curve and it may be a little wet, or you run on a leaf and you could have the bike slide out from under you. In this case, I'm hoping that this tread will prevent that. But so far, as I've tried to make my stops with these brakes, I really haven't come up with any problem whatsoever. It stopped, and again, even on these kind of wet pavement roads. So I feel pretty comfortable on this bike. But of course, eventually I'll be going faster and around more turns where I am going to get worried about this bike sliding out from under me, because that's what people have said has happened when you get a bike with this thin tires. Now the tires that I'm used to they're called hybrid tires, and they have a lot more tread here and all around, and it's made to grip more, but you trade off in the lightweight nature of this tire compared to that kind of hybrid or mountain bike tire. So this is what I prefer, because I do distance traveling, and again, this is how I travel everywhere, so I need something that's really good on the road. So I have to say, it rides really nicely. Let's move next to the brakes and shifters. I still haven't figured out exactly if doing this on both sides shifts up or down. I believe if I do this with both of these little levers, that is a shift down on this side. So down, down. If you do this, it's shifting up. Now I believe it is up both, down one. Again, I don't really know, and I'll have to figure this out. If you guys can tell me, that'd be great. I do have a short-term memory on this, so I'll try and remember it. Maybe I'll write it down in my hand. But again, these are the shifters. This is also the braking system too. So the person at Dick's said one cable does shifting and braking, so I think that's good. It's minimal. I like being minimal, and I think it works, and so far it's stopped me pretty well. One thing I didn't know, and maybe this is just because I haven't gotten a bike in a while, I thought that bikes all came with kickstands. They don't, so I will have to go out and buy a kickstand for this. When the guy assembled the bike for me, yeah, he built it for me, I didn't know that there was no kickstand. So I was like, what's going on here? And he said, yeah, you have to buy one. That's all right. Just something I thought that all bikes came with, a kickstand, and I guess they don't. So maybe beware when you buy a bike. Just be sure to buy a kickstand as well. But the installation of the kickstand is pretty easy. All you do is just take this out here, put the kickstand on, and then you'll be good. Not too much of a problem. So far, it's doing good today, just balancing. So I think that's good. But yeah, all around, this being the first day that I've had it and been biking around, I say that I'm happy. I can buy many seats, so I will figure out the seat problem there shortly. If anything, I'll go to Dick's, and because I got a 2-year warranty, I'll ask them, I need a new bike seat, what's going on with this? Get me a new one. So I think that should not be a problem. It honestly looks like something that wasn't glued down properly because it came apart so easily. Again, I'm not moving around too much, it just popped off. So I'm pretty happy. I think it's good that I kept myself under $500. And if this happens to work, try Nishiki. If it doesn't work, try something else and maybe shell out that $100 to $200 extra to get something that's better. But so far, I'm still here. The bike is still not destroyed. So I'd say this is a very good first episode. So stick with us. I don't know yet what I'm going to call this series. If you have any recommendations, let me know. Again, if you want to know the bike's name, it's the Nishiki Maricopa. it was on sale for $450. I believe it was $150 off, meaning that it was originally $600. So I'm fine with it being white. I think white looks nice, but I just hope it just doesn't get stolen or hit by a car. So I'll continue with this. Thank you for watching, and continue. Please subscribe to 5149 Media. Go check out our other channel, Creative Reviews, and subscribe and like everything that you possibly can, and find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Beam, and anything else I can think of. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.